So my name is Larz. I'm 32 years old. I'm born and raised in Frankfort, Kentucky. I moved down here in 2015. So to give a brief history about where I've been through and why I look the way I do. Whenever I was young, I was raised in a divided household. I was molested as a kid by a babysitter, and then I was physically abused by my stepdad, and I was raised in a distorted household, which caused a lot of confusion in my head. From that on, I grew up between two different families. Half of them were partiers and the other half were hearers and doers of the word. I had the calling God placed upon me to be part of the ministry. That was really empowering. During that week that I was at youth camp, I came back and the devil really saw that I was seeking the Lord. I really fell into Satan's trap. I really fell into the pit. During my teenage years, I became very rebellious because of everything that happened to me in the past. I started taking it out on my family. I had multiple scholarships that I threw down the drains because with sports come injuries, and injuries led me to my opiate addiction. Got myself clean and went to the Teen Challenge for 9 months. Came out of that and I relapsed. Well, I want to move out of state. I want to move to Florida. And my grandparents were already living down here in St. Pete. So I moved down here to Florida. You know, more people, more drugs involved. Such a great decision. But I got myself involved into a relationship that was very life-controlling, that became very mentally abusive towards me. And I wasn't strong enough to step away from it. It was very hard, but at the same time, I knew I could no longer live that life. I went to St. Pete, where my grandparents live, and they opened their arms wide open to me. My grandmother was like, "It's about time," and she started bawling her eyes open, and I knew that this is what God wanted me to do. They left for a couple weeks because they went on a cruise ship, and I was by myself. And being in a relationship with somebody for 10 years and not having nobody else and being so dependent on somebody, I was lost. I had every drug that you can think of. I just wanted it in my life. Placed it upon a bridge. I was on the top of a bridge, 10 Cents Bridge in St. Pete, and a semi-truck drove by, and with a semi-truck, a gust of wind comes with it and blew everything off. And then next thing you know, I haven't had social media or anything in 10 years, and one of my friends that I haven't spoke to in 12 years reached out through me. And his grandfather's a pastor, and he started speaking to me, and I was like, man, this is God moving, like absolutely extremely fast. And I went back to the condo, and I woke up to U.S. Marshals at the door. This was my reset button. This was my reset button in life. The whole time whenever I was in there, I prayed. I read that word from front to back. The more I read that Bible, anytime I would call my family, they could tell a difference in me right there and then within the 5 months of my jail time. I still till today don't even have a clue how I ended up at Loving Hands. And I know it was the Holy Spirit that guided me and led me to this place. I had a vision whenever I was inside jail too, that God placed into my head that you're gonna live on a 10-acre property with a California ranch style home and a pit bull. This is the exact vision of what God placed into me inside jail. And here comes Mary burning up to the truck. And I was like, this is God. This is me finally walking into my calling of what God has told me to start at the age of 13. It's been a blessing after blessing. My family's been restored back to me. I can have open communication with my stepdad, my mom, my sisters. One of them I haven't spoke to in 9 years, that had an open relationship conversation in the back porch and just telling her that how God's moving in my life, and she was bawling in tears. Being able to have a relationship with my nieces and nephews that I haven't seen. Seeing the seed planted in my Kentucky kids of them knowing that their dad's getting better and that my family's speaking to them, that giving them presents that God has blessed me with to give to them, and seeing how opening and accepting they are, it's just so amazing. It's just such a high of Jesus moving in within my life.